So I just need you to say your first and last name,
Okay.
and your job, just like your job title, and where you work.
The job title is kind of complicated, to be honest, because so my name's Blakeley Hunter, and I run Resin Gallery in Hermosa Beach. Resin Gallery is kind of the outside shell, or the shell of the crab, and then the inside is the South Bay Artist Collective. So I help Raphael McMaster run the collective as well. We're comprised of 30 members, all different styles of art, anywhere from photography to resin to encaustic, oil painting, acrylic, you name it, we've probably got it. And we also have a youth program. Raphael and I teach together 5 days a week. So we're also art teachers, and then both of us are artists as well. So I have a background in arts, what I went to college for. And when I find time, I still like to do art myself. I was super fortunate growing up in a house where my parents valued art so much, and I've always been just surrounded by the most amazing art pieces in my home. And you know, there was so much encouragement for, you know, just coloring, doing cool things in my pastime. You know, my mom used to go on these pieces of paper and she would just draw an abstract squiggle with a line and then connect them, and she'd have me and my sister fill them in with different colors and shapes and designs. And you know, I think all of those things really carried on, so it's something I've always been passionate about. So this gallery has been here for about 2 years, and I came in a little after it started, and I met Raphael, and pretty much 2 weeks after we met, we kind of decided, yep, okay, let's do something. And then it really just gradually kind of formed into us just running this thing together, which has been just a whirlwind, incredible experience. We have a youth program. We teach youth art classes to kids ages 7 to 17, Monday through Friday from 4 to 5:30 every day. Our classes aren't necessarily the traditional teach you how at the exact same time how to draw a bowl of fruit. Now, if the kid is interested in that, we absolutely will teach them. But we do everything from teaching them how to shoot macro photography on professional cameras, all manual focus, because we want to see what they're seeing. Because the coolest thing about kids is that they haven't been told that they can't do something yet. And their minds are just limitless. You know, things that you and I look at and pass every day, or sometimes we think it's gross. I mean, we have macro photography of rust coming up off a dumpster, and it's just one of the coolest photographs you'll ever see, and you would never even know what it was. But sometimes it takes a kid's approach to really get that amazing shot, because like I said, they've just never been told that they can't do something, so it's limitless. You know, we also take them back in this alley here. This is done by one of our artists, Dan Gardner, that's in the collective. But out here in this whole area, we actually teach the kids how to spray paint. We have respirator masks that they wear. You know, they wear goggles, and we teach them techniques and all different things. Teach them, you know, acrylic painting, watercolor. We teach them Photoshop and Illustrator as well. Really anything that any of the kids want to learn. Raphael and I, between the two of us, the tools that we have and the knowledge we have, we're able to kind of make whatever work. So, you know, Raphael has always been involved in the art world. And, you know, when we started off, like I said, in the very beginning, I wasn't here. It was just Raphael, but he had done a show and really started to connect with the art community. And slowly but surely, you know, we found other artists are like, hey, there's nowhere in the South Bay where artists can show their artwork. There were no galleries. Now, that being said, there were galleries too, you know, Beau Bridges and John Post, but they were just showing their own work. There wasn't a gallery that was the people's gallery, you know. And a lot of these artists, we found, they had stopped creating because, hey, you know, in your apartment you don't have room for an unlimited amount of, you know, canvases or panels or whatever it is. And you know, as an artist, it's not a matter of do you want to paint, it's you have to paint, you have to do your art. You know, you're compelled. And when an artist, a true artist, stops doing art, everything else in their life is just chaos, because that's our outlet as artists, you know, that's what we do. And so getting people in here, you know, obviously it started off slow, but it's progressed into this just absolutely amazing. It really took on a life of its own, you know. Each of our artists pitches in $150 a month, and very soon that number is going to be going down. For that $150 a month, each artist gets between 6 to 8 feet of wall space. They get an opportunity to have a solo show in the front room of our gallery once a year for a full week. And when an artist sells a piece of artwork out of here, they keep 100% of what they make. Amongst other things as well, we work a lot with the local Chamber of Commerce. We do, you know, they've gifted us tents for the last 2 Fiesta Hermosas. So all of our artists get to be involved in that, where normally it's $850 for one tent, and that's not really feasible. You have to sell a lot of artwork at Fiesta for that to happen. And, you know, since we are being gifted those tents, we're able to go in, and all these artists who probably wouldn't have gotten that exposure or been able to do those events, now they're there and they're very present. So there are a lot of perks, and amongst other things, we're in a community. We find a community of our peers where we get to work together, and, you know, we teach each other things. You know, one artist, Andre Snyman, he's absolutely perfected the art of making wood frames himself, and he's taught a whole bunch of us how to do it for ourselves, which is so cost effective and looks incredible. And, you know, so we all take time out to help each other, and it's a community, it's a family, it's more than just a gallery. It's really hard to just talk about one of them because they're all just so special and so unique. I would be hard pressed to find 30 people that I'd actually want to hang out with, and somehow I've managed to find that with these 30 artists. Like, I would go out to lunch, grab drinks with any of them. Like, they're all great. And I think that's crazy, because 30, that's a lot of people to like. And so they're all amazing. One artist who's one of my very best friends, Wendy Stillman, she is a mom from Manhattan Beach, but first and foremost, she is just a phenomenal woman and artist. She makes really rad jewelry. She carves them out of wax herself, the designs, and then pours the silver into molds. But she is very inspired by 80s surf designs and culture, old Quicksilver apparel and things like that. And lots of tribal and Aboriginal designs, and lots of patterns and textures in her work, and very bold colors. So, you know, what's cool is right away when you see her work, you're like, oh, that's Wendy Stillman's. And that's the same for another artist named Driga Lobo. She's an artist from Brazil, and she has just this very, very notable voice in her artwork. You know, bright colors. She's not afraid. She'll use neons. She'll use bright turquoise, and, you know, it's all beach oriented for the most part. So lots of paintings of the pier. The way she does her water is just absolutely gorgeous, and every time you see it, you know it's her. We've got another artist, Paul Ruston. He is a body painter. So he, you know, in the gallery we display some of the photographs of the body paintings he's done. He is one of the best in his field. He's noted and known through all throughout the industry. He's really, really great guy. Total, just amazing art. There's just absolutely no way to really put it in words. It's really unique to see his stuff. And then we've got John Marr, who is having his solo show for the first time right now, and he does paintings and incorporates a lot of resin. But what makes him truly unique is that each of his paintings has AR built in with them. So what that means is it's augmented reality, and you can use a tablet or your phone. You download his free app that he made himself, and you scan these paintings that he has, and there is a whole world built into these paintings. So one of them, for example, is of Martin Luther King, and when you scan this painting, you're transported to Birmingham down an alleyway in the 1960s, and, you know, on these brick walls that you see, there are quotes by Martin Luther King. You can click and you can see the process of the actual painting being made. You know, just really cool cutting edge things. Sabrina Armitage, she does encaustic artwork, which means it's made with beeswax. Very, very cool, modern, gorgeous stuff. Diana Flynn, she is a fiber artist. She uses linen and block printing ink to make her stuff. Just truly, truly unique. And then there's Raphael, who's another artist that totally has his own voice. You see his stuff, and very vibrant. He uses so much texture in his work, and you know, his pieces are ones where you can look at them and you don't even really know what you're looking at. And you know it's beautiful, but it's the kind of artwork you can stare at for a really long time, because just all of the texture work, everything, you want to touch it. Even though you know you can't, you want to touch it, because you just never know what he's using. So, I mean, that's just a handful of artists, you know. There's 30 of us, and we all have something special. So we never want to compromise the integrity of the artwork in the gallery by just overwhelming the viewer. It's really, there's no hard and fast rules when you're selecting someone to be in a community, and I almost feel like it's such a privilege to be that person with Raphael. But you know, we sit down, it's not just about the art, you know. Obviously it's, you know, it's a major thing, but we want to make sure, like I mentioned before, that person is someone that wants to be a part of an art community, someone that wants to be involved in our events, wants to, you know, really integrate themselves into what we're doing. So it's really, really important that we find that. So there are a lot of different variables that go into how who we bring in. Well, in February we have the 3rd annual Water and Wood Show, which we are just over the moon excited about. Its presenting sponsor is South Bay Magazine. They have just gone above and beyond in terms of helping us out. They're an incredible people and an incredible, you know, local news resource. They're just great, you know. So they are helping us out with food and beverage, and you know, we're gonna have a photographer here. It's so much fun. Last year for Water and Wood, we had just under 600 people come to our opening night between 4 and 9 o'clock, which was insane. It's great. Thank God not all at once, but that'll be a great event. We also have an event called 9 by 12, and that is where we're working with Maricosta High School in Manhattan Beach. And they are going to be having their year-end show here for all of their art students. And we did that last year, and this year we're going full speed ahead. South Bay Magazine will also be helping us out with that show as well. We're just really excited. I think we've got over 20 shows planned for this year, and kind of the sky's the limit, you know. Our #1 goal is to, one, help the art community and help local youth have something, you know. We want art to be in the schools, so we also work a ton with Young at Art. We host, this will be the 2nd year, we've hosted the Hearts of Hermosa pre-show here, where the kids' artwork that they make with the docents is displayed here, so the kids get to come and see their artwork before it gets auctioned off at the Hearts of Hermosa event. And they get to see their stuff in a real gallery, which for a lot of kids is just so exciting. It's a unique experience where we get to really become even more of a part of the community. But Raphael and I, we really hold that as our biggest thing, is we just want to keep art thriving in the South Bay. And we do whatever it is we have to do to make it work. We're 100% volunteer based, and what that means is that Raphael and I work over 50 hours a week for free. Neither him nor I take a paycheck. The only time we get paid is when we teach our art classes, our youth program, which we also are just recently being able to have scholarships. We're awarding scholarships to kids, so the kids that can't afford to come to class are now able to come and join in as well. But I think, you know, it definitely takes a particular type of person to come in and work from, you know, 9 to 6 every day, you know, and then during shows, sometimes I'll be here from 9 to 11 o'clock at night, and Raphael will too, and we know there's no paycheck at the end of the month, but it doesn't even begin to deter us, because we know what we're doing is so much more than a paycheck, and money will come. That we're not worried about that. We just want to build something amazing and really do something worthwhile and long lasting. You know, I would just say, if you haven't been here, definitely come by. You know, we're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, and there's always something spectacular going on. There's never a dull moment here. This is an art gallery, a creative lab. It is just everything you could ever want out of an amazing space to have art. And I mean, sometimes it's hard to find words to describe how I feel about this place. It has my heart, you know. I pour my soul into everything we do here, and so does Raphael. And we're really excited to see what the future holds. So hopefully we'll get some people to come and join us as well and check things out. Right?
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be like amazing.
It's been like this since 4.
Serious?
I mean, 4 was a little slow, and then this happened at like 5, like 4:30.
Alright.
What's your name?
My name's Brandon. I'm a Gyotaku fish printing artist. So Gyotaku is an ancient Japanese technique that uses the actual fish itself to get the print. I've been doing Gyotaku for about 7 or 8 years now. It started just as a hobby to kind of like commemorate my best catches I caught fishing. But over time, people started asking me to do their fish for them, and yeah, I moved to South Bay last year to pursue my dream of being a professional artist. To do one print takes about 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe. It's a quick process to get just the black and white, but to color the print takes another couple hours after it dries. So basically, you paint the one side of the fish completely black, and you're gonna remove the excess ink. And you rub this Japanese paper over the fish, and when you pull it off, the scales get imprinted onto the paper. And from here, I'll take this and touch it up and watercolor it. So this is just like my outline. You can find my work at my website, makaiimpressions.com.
Yeah.